So in this video, we're going to look at angle measures in DMS. So the first thing we need to do is figure out, well, what does DMS stand for? So DMS stands for degree, minutes, seconds. So an example of this would be something like this. 85 degrees, 18 minutes, 30 seconds. So this, of course, is the degree sign, and everybody's pretty familiar with that. But then we get these little prime marks here, and so when you have 18 with one prime, that's minutes, and 30 with two primes, that is seconds. And so essentially this means 85 degrees, 18 minutes, and 30 seconds. All right, so DMS, or degree minutes seconds, is used a lot in navigation. So if you have navigation of planes or navigation of boats, we use that. It's also used a lot in locating something. So for example, if you look at a lot of topographical maps, you'll see that you have degrees, minutes, and seconds, and so forth. It's probably not the best version of it, but we've been using it for so many centuries, I would even say, that it's kind of ingrained into how we look at navigation over the Earth and where something is located over the Earth, that we pretty much still deal with it. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to work with this 85 degrees, 18 minutes, and 30 seconds. And you actually don't ever really work a problem in this form. What we do is we're going to convert this into a decimal degree equivalent. So let's look at that example here. We're going to convert 85 degrees, 18 minutes, 30 seconds to decimal degrees. All right, so to do that, 85 degrees, 18 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, so now the degrees are already in degrees, so you don't have to do anything with that. But then we have to convert the minutes into degrees. And so it's pretty consistent with time. You know, when you say how many minutes are in a degree, it's the same question as how many minutes are in an hour. And so we do have 60 minutes in 1 degree. So we'll take our 18 and divide it by 60. And so this essentially means 60 minutes in 1 degree. All right, now we have to convert the seconds into degrees. And, you know, be careful with this. But, you know, you have 60 minutes in 1 degree, and then there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So if you have 60 times 60, that is going to be 3,600. And so this is 3,600 seconds in 1 degree. Okay. So now, of course, you never have to write these two things, but I wanted to write that down so you guys understand where the 60 to 3,600 comes from. And so, you know, usually, this ends up being a calculator problem. And so you take out your calculator, turn it on, and we go through. Let's see, we have 85 plus 18 divided by 60 plus 30 divided, I'm going to put some parentheses there, 30 divided by 3,600. And we end up with 85.3083333 degrees. And a lot of times it depends on what the problem is, but we'll just write 85.3083 degrees. We'll do 4 decimal places for this one. Good. All right, so the way this works is you're doing, say, a navigation problem with a plane flying somewhere, and you're given the direction they're going, which would be 85 degrees, 18 minutes, 30 seconds, and you have to do something with it. Okay, so the first thing you do is you convert it to decimal degrees, and then you do all the work. And then when you're done, let's say you have some degree answer, and you have to convert that then back to degree, minutes, seconds. And so let's look at another example. And we want to convert 3.58 degrees to DMS, degrees, minutes, seconds. So after we've done all of our work in degree decimal, when you get to your final answer, you got to convert it back to DMS. All right, so here's how it works. We start off with 3.58 degrees, and the 3 is already in, degrees, minutes, seconds. So we go ahead and put that off to the side. 3 degrees. Now we're left with 0.58 degrees. And so just like this up here, there are 60 minutes in 1 degree. Well, we have 0.58 degrees, and so we're going to multiply this by 60. And this is going to give us, let me get out my calculator again, 0.58 times 60 gives us 34.8 minutes. All right, so now here's our minutes. We'll take out the 34-minute part, and then we have 0.8 minutes. And then again, we have to think, now, because we're already in minutes, we're not going to multiply by 3,600. We have to think, well, how many seconds are in a minute? And it's 60 again, so we'll multiply by 60. And this gives us, let's see here, 0.8 times 60, 48 seconds. And so we put it all together, and we have 3.58 degrees is equivalent to 3 degrees, 34 minutes, and 48 seconds. And then if there's ever any decimals with the seconds, you just kind of put them into the problem, round off to a couple of decimals, and that's pretty much all you need. But there is our angle now back in DMS. All right, so, this whole thing about degrees, minutes, seconds, it takes a little while to get used to. We don't do too many problems with it. And the problems we do have with it are mostly going to be problems where you have navigation of a plane or a boat and it's going a certain distance. But anyways, this is how you convert from DMS to decimal and from decimal to DMS.